Hey everyone, today we're diving deep into the story side of Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. For those who haven't heard of Clair Obscur Expedition 33, it's a stunning JRPG developed by Sandfall Interactive that blends gorgeous art with deep storytelling. The term Clair Obscur actually refers to the contrast between light and dark in art, which perfectly captures the game's themes and visual style. If you finished this game and found yourself scratching your head trying to piece together what exactly happened, don't worry, you're definitely not alone. This game takes us on a journey through grief, art, and reality itself, with twists that completely flip our understanding of the world. So get comfortable and let's unravel this beautiful, haunting story together. Before we begin, this video contains major spoilers for the entire game, including both endings. If you haven't finished Expedition 33 yet, I highly recommend experiencing it for yourself first. With that said, let's jump right in. The game takes place in a city called Lumiere, which was severed from the rest of the world during an event known as the Fracture 67 years before our story begins. This catastrophic event left Lumiere isolated in the middle of the ocean. But the Fracture was just the beginning of Lumiere's troubles. Every year since then, a mysterious entity known as the Paintress appears at a monolith and draws a number. This number decreases by 1 each year, and anyone whose age matches that number is erased from existence in an event called the Gommage, which, fun fact, means eraser in French. To combat this existential threat, Lumiere sends expedition teams each year to find and defeat the Paintress. These expeditions are named after the current number drawn on the monolith. By the time our story begins, the number has reached 33, meaning everyone aged 33 and older has been erased. And our protagonist, Gustave, is one of the oldest people in Lumiere at 32 years old. Our story follows Expedition 33, led by Gustave, as they set out to finally end the Paintress's reign of terror. The team includes Maëlle, Gustave's adopted sibling with a mysterious past, Lune, a skilled fighter with strong determination, and Ciel, a thoughtful strategist. The expedition begins with hope and determination, but things quickly go wrong. As soon as they reach the shore, they're ambushed by a white-haired man wearing an expeditioner's uniform. This man, whom we later learn is named Renoir, brutally attacks the team, killing most of them in an instant. Gustave somehow survives the massacre and wakes up alone near a waterfall. Disoriented and desperate, he begins searching for other survivors. What he finds instead is a horrifying pile of bodies, his fellow expeditioners slain by Renoir. The sight is too much for Gustave, who is overcome with despair, raises his trembling hand in a final, hopeless gesture. But before he can pull the trigger, Lune appears and stops him. Together, they resolve to continue the mission, determined not to let their fallen comrades' sacrifices be in vain. Gustave and Lune discover a message carved into a wall, indicating that Maëlle, Gustave's adoptive sister, has been taken to a shelter somewhere north, near strange coral reefs. Following this clue, they eventually find her in a manor. Maëlle explains that after the attack on the beach, she woke up in this place and was helped by a mysterious figure known as the Curator. With the team partially reunited, they decide to continue their journey to find the Paintress. The group meets Noko, a Gestrel, one of the creatures from Lumiere's fairy tales. Noko explains that to reach the Paintress, they must cross the sea, and for that, they need help from a legendary creature named Eskia. They travel to the village of the Gestrel, where they reunite with Ciel, another survivor from the beach massacre. Chief Golgra tells them that Eski can help them cross the sea, but they'll need to convince him. However, their path is soon blocked by strange occurrences. Maëlle experiences a moment where time seems to stop, and she's confronted by a white-haired girl wearing a mask that conceals facial scars. The girl appears alongside Renoir, who warns Maëlle to return home to Lumiere and spend her final days in peace. When time resumes, Maëlle is shaken, but the others didn't witness the encounter. When they find Eski, he agrees to help them cross the sea, but only if they retrieve a special stone called Flory from the Lampmaster. After defeating Lampmaster and obtaining the stone, Eski prepares to carry them across the sea. Just as Gustave and Maëlle are about to jump onto Eski's back, Renoir appears again and shoots Gustave from behind. Despite his serious injury, Gustave fights valiantly to protect Maëlle, but he's no match for Renoir's power. As Renoir reaches for Maëlle, a stranger in an expeditioner's uniform suddenly appears and saves her. After driving Renoir away, the stranger tells Maëlle to return to her friends and seek safety. Once the group reaches a safe location, the stranger approaches them again and introduces himself as Verso, a member of Expedition Zero, the very first expedition sent to defeat the Paintress 67 years ago. Verso explains something shocking. He and the other members of Expedition Zero haven't aged or been affected by the Gommage. The white-haired man who attacked them, Renoir, was actually Verso's commander from Expedition Zero. According to Verso, Renoir believes the paintress granted them immortality, and killing her would end that gift. That's why Renoir has been sabotaging expeditions for decades, betraying the people of Lumiere to protect the paintress. Verso offers to help the group complete their mission, explaining that he disagrees with Renoir's actions and wants to end the Gommage once and for all. The group accepts his help, and together they bury Gustave, promising at his grave to defeat the paintress and avenge his death. Verso suggests recruiting his friend Monoko to strengthen the team. After finding Monoko, they head to Old Lumiere to find the paintress's heart, which Verso believes is key to defeating her. While exploring Old Lumiere, an explosion separates the group. Monoko, Ciel, and Lune discover a journal from Expedition 58 that contains shocking information about Verso. Meanwhile, Maëlle and Verso find a familiar-looking mansion. Inside, they encounter a mysterious faceless woman. Verso attacks the woman but is countered by Renoir, who suddenly appears. Renoir angrily asks Verso why he would attack his own family. At that moment, Lune, Ciel, and Monoko arrive, and Lune reveals what they learned from the journal. Verso is Renoir's son. A fierce battle erupts. Renoir kills Noko with a powerful attack, then turns on Maëlle. Verso jumps in front of her, shouting, "Alicia!" instead of Maëlle as he shields her. Time suddenly stops for everyone except Maëlle. The masked girl from her dreams appears, removes her mask, and shows Maëlle a vision of a burning mansion. When time resumes, the mansion has vanished, leaving the group confused and with more questions than answers. Back at camp, Verso refuses to explain his relationship with Renoir. The group learns from the Expedition 58 journal that there's another way to defeat the paintress. A weapon created by the Curator, which requires pure chroma from powerful creatures called axons. Despite Verso's warnings about the axon's strength, the group decides to hunt them. They travel to the eastern island and defeat the Mask Keeper Axon, obtaining a mask. Then they journey to the western island and confront Cyrene, the second Axon. After a difficult battle where Cyrene shows them illusions of their loved ones, Lune delivers the final blow, and they obtain a piece of cloth. When Maëlle handed over the cloth, time stopped once more as she came face to face with the faceless woman. When she asked the Curator about his identity, he offered no response. Afterwards, the Curator forged a sword and handed it to Maëlle. Armed with black swords, the group breaks through the barrier protecting the paintress's monolith. When they finally confront her, their attacks have no effect. Suddenly, the faceless woman appears and burns everyone except Verso and Monoko. When Verso protects Maëlle, he is burned too. The woman stops her attacks and then opens a portal into the monolith. Inside the monolith, they encounter Renoir again. After a difficult battle, they manage to injure him, but his wounds heal instantly. As Renoir launches a devastating attack, the Curator appears and stops him. Renoir tells the Curator that this won't bring his wife back, but the Curator ignores him, takes Maëlle's hand, and guides it to Renoir's chest. Renoir is instantly destroyed, as if struck by the Gommage. Finally, they reach the paintress, who stands gazing at an eclipse. Ciel notices that the paintress resembles the Curator, and Lune recalls Renoir mentioning the Curator's wife. Could the paintress be the Curator's wife? The paintress approaches Maëlle and calls her Alicia, saying Maëlle's face resembles her daughter's. She tells Verso to go home, but he responds that she should be the one to go home. Enraged, the paintress declares that they won't take this canvas from her and attacks. After defeating the paintress, Verso holds her as she weakens. Maëlle touches the paintress's chest, and she disappears like the victims of the Gommage. The number 33 vanishes from the monolith, signaling the end of the Gommage. The group returns to Lumiere as heroes, but during their celebration, an explosion erupts from the monolith, causing everyone in Lumiere to vanish. Then comes the mind-blowing twist. Everything we've experienced is actually taking place inside a canvas. The real world is revealed, where we learn that Verso died, saving his sister Alicia, who is actually Maëlle, from a fire. Their mother, Aline, the paintress, entered a canvas painted by Verso to escape her grief. Their father, Renoir, the Curator, entered the canvas to bring Aline back. Maëlle returns to Lumiere and reunites with Verso. With her memories fully restored, she confesses the truth. She was responsible for Verso's death after being manipulated by the writers. She also realizes that the Verso beside her isn't the real one, but a creation made by her mother with implanted memories of the original Verso. The pair seeks out Renoir, believing he can restore Lumiere. When they find him, he's holding a brush, confirming he is indeed the Curator. Renoir insists the canvas must be destroyed to prevent Aline from returning to it, but Maëlle refuses to let go of the only remaining piece of the real Verso's soul. With help from Esqui and Monoko, Maëlle and Verso escape Lumiere. At their camp, Maëlle successfully uses her newfound powers to revive Lune and Ciel. After explaining everything to them, she reveals her plan to restore their world. Loon suggests gathering pure chroma from the bodies of fallen expeditioners scattered across the continent. The group continues on a journey to collect this chroma, preparing for a final confrontation with Renoir in Lumiere. Their mission is clear: preserve the canvas and the lives within it, no matter the cost. Finally, the group returns to Lumiere for their showdown with Renoir. Maëlle harnesses the collected chroma to create an army against her father's Nevrons. Renoir awaits them with a heavy heart, admitting he doesn't want to destroy the canvas, but feels he must, despite Maëlle's objections. The battle is fierce. Renoir controls the axons to regenerate himself whenever they land a blow. Just as the tide turns against them, Aline unexpectedly appears to help. Her return enrages Renoir, who fears the canvas will claim her life. With a final push, Maëlle managed to weaken Renoir. In his vulnerable state, he revealed his true motivation. He had remained in the canvas for 67 years to prevent Aline from becoming ill from being inside the canvas for too long. He also confessed his fear of losing Maëlle. Touched by his concern, Maëlle promised to find a solution other than destroying the canvas. Finally convinced, Renoir peacefully left the canvas. Meanwhile, Verso enters a mysterious portal. Inside, he finds a faceless boy who continues to paint on a canvas. Maëlle appears behind him, and Verso confronts her about her lie to his father. He insists that she must leave the canvas before she risks her life. Maëlle refuses, arguing that her departure will cause his father to destroy the canvas. When Verso tries to stop the faceless boy from painting, Maëlle intervenes, and the two are forced into a battle that will determine the fate of the canvas. The game presents players with two possible endings: side with Verso to destroy the canvas and free everyone from this artificial world, or side with Maëlle to preserve the canvas and the lives within it. Neither choice comes without sacrifice and pain. If you choose Verso's path, Maëlle is erased from the canvas along with all their friends. Verso stops the faceless boy, revealed to be a fragment of his true soul, from painting. Together, they walk away and fade into nothingness. In the real world, Alicia, Renoir, Aline, and Clea gather at Verso's grave to pay their final respects. As they leave, Alicia glimpses Maëlle, Gustave, and their friends waving goodbye before vanishing forever. If you choose Maëlle's path, Verso loses the battle and begs Maëlle to erase him, claiming he no longer wishes to live this way. As he slowly fades away, Maëlle restores the people of Lumiere who were affected by the gommage. Her friends return, and life in Lumiere continues. In the final scene, an older Verso sits at a piano attempting to play. He looks up to see Maëlle watching him, her face now covered in paint, suggesting she has become like her mother, trapped in the cycle of maintaining the canvas. And that's the story of Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, a tale about grief, art, and the lengths we go to escape or confront our pain. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this explanation, hit that like button and subscribe for more gaming content. Let me know in the comments which ending you chose and why. Until next time, goodbye.